Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for a podcast that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's time for a podcaster who talks about a stop. He says, is that place called Stop and Swap? Talks about a used bookshop and tries to make rhymes like putting a cherry on top of a sundae. Because I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff. It's time for Sleep With Me. I'm glad you're here. It's a podcast that keeps you company in the deep, dark night while you fall asleep. Kind of puts you to sleep, but kind of doesn't. Just in case you can't sleep, or that way you don't feel any pressure to fall asleep. So I'm glad you're here, whether this is your first time or, people have listened thousands of times. So however many times you've been here, thank you so much. And the way it works is this is a little intro, then there'll be some support for the show. That's what enables us to be 100% free twice a week. Then there'll be a long, meandering intro where I introduce the podcast to new listeners, but it also helps ease you into bedtime and kind of help you unwind. And then there'll be a story, kind of a story. Tonight we'll be looking through a comedy magazine of my youth and talking about comedy parody magazines from the, I don't even know, 80s, but I think the one I looked at was from the 70s. So I'm glad you're here, and, I hope I can help you fall asleep. Thanks again for coming by, and here's a couple of ways we're able to do this for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, this is Scoots here, and this is somewhat exciting if you're a regular listener, and this will be a little bit, I don't know how this is going to go, be interesting and lulling, and this is technically a style, like a twist on a style of episode we've done before. We've never done this before. And I'm thinking that this probably in the summer of 2023 will be a regular Patreon reward as we do our kind of summer break. So the patrons, but I'm not positive about that. But just an idea that recently came to me. So we'll see how this goes. And but this one will maybe have a combination of three elements of Sleep With Me podcast. A short, kind of personal little thing. And then we'll go through something, and then maybe we'll be able to learn some facts about it. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is Mad Magazine, which is all caps, M-A-D, Mad Magazine. And I believe it's a usage of mad, like mad silly, but again, I don't know that either. And I don't know if it's still printed, to be honest. I think it still comes out online. And what's interesting is that the main Mad competitor, or there was kind of two competitors. One was aimed a little bit more at adults or young adults. But Mad Magazine was a comedy or humor magazine. I'm not trying to be joking. Like when you go to your doctor, your therapist's office, right? Those things that are sitting there are magazines, which everybody knows. I'm being facetious, but magazines are still kind of relevant because I actually have I don't know if it's through my phone or something else. Every once a year, at least, they say, hey, we'll send you a magazine for free for a year. And usually nowadays, the magazines only come out like once every 2 months versus every month or weekly. But, and we never got magazines to our house, which is interesting. So I don't know if people were getting Mad Magazine delivered to their homes. That would be pretty awesome. And the last Mad Magazine I remember having, the cover of it, it was like a parody of the portrait of, or not the portrait, but the popular poster of President Obama. And I'm afraid I don't know the artist's name that did that one, but the kind of tricolor profile portrait. And I guess it's not a portrait. It was like, I keep misspeaking. And I just thought it was such a cool cover that I bought it, probably at the airport, I'm guessing, because that's kind of the number one place where you still encounter magazines, or it could have been at a newsstand when I was buying something else. But it caught my eye, and I said, oh, Mad Magazine, I'll buy it. But there were times people had them delivered to their house. But for me, and, this is a generational thing. And what's interesting is that I don't know if this type of store fully exists anymore. But we used to spend a lot of time in a used magazine and bookstore, which I think was called, like, it had a secondary name, like, I think it might have been called Stop and Swap. Maybe that's something else. But this particular one, my dad liked to go to, and he would take us, at least my brother and I, maybe my sister, and then a couple times one of our friends or our cousins, which kind of changed things at some point. But the first few times we went, my dad would go look for used books to read. So normally it might be coming up on a vacation or the summertime or like a long road trip. And we would look through used, very used, or previously owned Mad magazines and Cracked magazine, which was the other popular comedy magazine. There's also National Lampoons. But those were a little bit, if my dad saw them, we weren't allowed to buy them. If somehow we got one, a lot of times the humor was a little bit beyond us because we were like not even in, like I'd say we were somewhere between second and fifth or sixth grade. And these Mad magazines and Cracked magazines were probably 10 years older, like 10 years earlier. So most of the stuff they were referring to, because they're kind of like pop culture magazines, as we'll see. It'll be interesting. Kind of like opening a time capsule. That's what I thought it would be cool about it. But even for us, it was like a time capsule because it would be movies or TV shows we had never seen before or we were like barely familiar with from reruns or a movie we kind of heard of. And even then, we weren't the main target for Mad or Cracked. Cracked, I don't remember a lot about Cracked other than there was like instead of the Mad magazine has Alfred E. Newman as the main character, or not the main character, but the character on the front. And then Cracked had a guy who was a painter, like a house painter or something was their main character, which is interesting because then Cracked became like a kind of comedy meme clearinghouse website for a while. But totally like just the brand name, not related, and maybe some of at least from what I remember. And we would kind of buy both. Now, Mad had a couple things going for it, including Spy versus Spy and these kind of comedy fold together things. But there were probably things about Cracked. I haven't been able to find any Cracks. So what happened was I got my hands on a stack of used Mad magazines, which that's like the forlorn part is like, I mean, I guess if you own old magazines now, like maybe the value has changed, but there's not really a place I know of that you can go into and look through old stuff that hasn't been kind of picked through and buy stuff for a cheap price. Like even comic books, you got to be intentional about it because then if you want to read through a whole series and you want to buy it used at a lower price, it could be tough to do. And the other thing is there's shipping involved. But I did happen to find these Mad magazines, and it ended up being a good purchase because I got about, 15. Some of them are supersized. But we would go look through them in while my dad was looking for books. It felt like for hours, and I'm sure the people were like, you're going to buy any of those? And we would have a budget. And they're probably pretty cheap because, I'm not sure how much, but I would bet somewhere between 10 cents and 25 cents an issue. And maybe for the thicker ones, I don't know, $1. Now, at some point, it was my cousin or one of my friends or my brother's friends noticed there was other like things to peruse that were on sale there, used magazines, which kind of ruined the whole experience, to be honest, because became such a distraction. And then so I guess, but that's just what happens. We get older, we grow up, we enter, different stages of life. But I can remember it being exciting. I didn't really get a lot of the jokes. I liked the arts and, the variety. I think for me, it was like the variety, both of them, they had different type, they have a movie parody or a TV parody that have some sort of, comic type strips, like usually like fake ads. So it was just a treasured memory, especially the fact that just like now we're going to do today, I was reading stuff that I had no context for because it was like 10 to 20 years old. And I wasn't old enough. So the ones I've got, we'll open and we'll go through it. We'll just see how it goes. And then maybe afterwards we can look into who is Alfred E. Newman and some of the history mad and correct. But yeah, this one is issue number 182 from April 1976. And its original price was 50 cents cheap. It says, our price, 50 cents cheap. And has a picture of Alfred E. Newman in a tuxedo, like a magician, pulling a rabbit out of his hat. And then the rabbit is pulling Alfred E. Newman out of the rabbit's hat. And then Alfred E. Newman is pulling another rabbit. So kind of like one of those endless picture type things. And it looks like it's made by Bob James. And then you open it up and there's a comic on the inside cover. This one is about a castaway, and it's by Paul Corker and Al Jaffe, who did a lot of the art. And, the movie with Tom Hanks, and this one's kind of a play on a couple different things with, this is interesting too, because I just did an episode about letters in a bottle, and it's about letters in a bottle, but it's about a castaway. It actually shows progression of their hair getting longer. I actually knew there Seymour Griffith is the name of the. So so that's it's cool. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 panels. Then we have the table of contents. And it's two vertical things, one visual and then one specific. And we got a quote from Alfred E. Newman: "Still waters run deep, ... but they're usually stagnant." And then the people, William Gaines, publisher, Albert Feldstein, editor, John Putnam, art director, Leonard Brent. So all the people that are involved in making it. And then the departments. So there's an Alma something department, 50 years of life and college life in America. Well, it's not in order. Oh, it's alphabetical order. That's on page 27. And then Berg's Eye View department. Oh, I guess that's another joke to the department. The lighter side of making extra money. 18, cheap shot, penny pinching hits. So this is like a money issue. 14. Then Don Martin has 3 different sections. Good Time. Oh, so a Mad TV satire, Dynamite, Good Times. That was a TV show, again, before my time. That might be the only satire. Oh, no, okay. Then Shoulder Patches, 24. Spy versus Spy, 26. Random Samplings of Reader Mail, page 2. Drawn Out Dramas, that might be, it's star, various places, okay. That's Sergio Aragonis, or Aragonis. I think those are, we'll see. People it's hard to feel sorry for, new musicals based on hit. Okay, so there's all the stuff coming up. And then there's a visual layout of some of it. Okay, and then this is published monthly except February, May, August, and November. And it's $10 for a subscription to 20 issues. What is that, 2 years then? No. I don't understand any of that. 20 issues, $12.50. Oh, outside the U.S. 10 weeks for change of address to become mad. Fiction and semi-fiction are fictitious. A similarity without satiric purpose to people is a coincidence. Okay, and then there's another subscription, because you would mail in your subscription, and it has some art, some funny art, and I'm sure you could subscribe and read these online. Let's see, we got Madison Avenue. It's on Madison Avenue, 485, $10 for the next 20 issues of Mad Magazine. And there's a discount offer, full color portrait of Alfred E. Newman's the What Me Worry Kid, which are suitable for framing or lining bird cages. 35 cents for one, 75 cents for three, $1.55 for 9. I should mail one of these in and see what happens. What do we got? Then we have a letters department, talking about different, we got, I enjoyed your satire on the movie with Big Fish. And another good one. There's like a bunch of letters. Some are positive, some aren't. It's a projectionist at a local theater. I had the pleasure of twice watching that Fish movie for 12 weeks. There was also another Universal movie about a rocking Earth, and I appreciated you doing that. Real projectionist. Mirthquake. We really loved that. 8.0. Mirthquake cracked me up. And then one CIA Agent of the Year. Matt interviews different families. Character, restaurant supply catalog is one of the many glories of Mad. I'd like to know, see, this one's titled Theater of the Absurd. I'd like to know if before writing a movie satire, do you see the movie? No, we write the satire first and then we see the movie. That was the only one they posted a response to it. There's another page. You can buy vintage Mad magazines or Mad books. Does it say how much they are? Please send me the books checked below. 95 cents for each. Minimum order 6 books. Interesting. Good thing I didn't have access. I mean, I didn't have any money, I guess, but okay. ESP, 1972, talking about Howard Cosell. 6th grade. I was in 6th grade when I signed up for a class called the Annotated Mad Magazine. In my class, I'm reading Mads and learning the history of Mad. Are you working towards a Mad degree? Time, something about time flying. High cost of gasoline. So that's circled back. Let's see else. Keyholes. So a bunch of different stuff and how to send stuff. Then another ad for ordering stuff from Mad. Oh, interesting. And now we have Arnaldo Francione. Mad portfolio of some idealist dreams. It looks like it's a 3-page spread. So dreams. We've got the getting rid of cars, clogging smokestacks, making everything like into like stuff to used farming. Planting trees where billboards used to be. Getting rid of additives that aren't organic. Getting rid of clocks and using Something else, vacuuming under the rug. So some funny stuff. Okay, then we have new musicals based on big movies. And let me see how many pages this is. Okay, so they have different ones. So let's see what they say. Oh, there's some of the hidden comics too, like in the margins and stuff. So many things. There's so much layer of detail. So this one is, you want to make a musical, take a novel like Don Quixote, turn it into Man of La Mancha, or take Pygmalion and make it My Fair Lady. You want something else more successful? Take successful movies. This is so predictive. I mean, so funny. And make them into musicals. How about this doesn't say, but just make it a jukebox musical, which is what this is kind of. Well, it's a parody musical. So the first one's called Based on The Godfather. And the first song is a song to the tune of Matchmaker, Matchmaker. And then they have like a spread of like a bunch of characters from The Godfather. You got Abe Vigoda, James Caan, Pacino, Don Corleone, Fredo, but so, yeah, and they're all talking about it, and they're singing a song. Basically, the first scene is them singing Matchmaker, Matchmaker, saying Godfather, Godfather, talking about how much we love you, Don Corleone, and talking about other people that, and then the Godfather says, yeah, do it, make my dreams come true. Then the next page is, I Like It Here in America. I don't know that song. And he's talking to his sons, Fredo, Michael, the other son, Sonny, right? And, Michael saying, I just want the good life, Pop. And this is the good life. And what is, that part is part of, so that last scene was more from Matchmaker, Matchmaker. Then this one's I Like It Here in America. Life is a treat. Rackets are sweet. Now I can kind of hear it. Okay. Big shots you meet, and how you'll eat. But Michael's saying, I don't know. I want a regular life. You have it made, be highly paid, learn to persuade. That's a skilled trade. So they're all talking. Then there's even like an octopus. That's surreal. But yeah, they're talking. Michael's still saying kind of, I think this isn't my thing, Dad. And the dad says, come on, son. Then the last song is My Favorite Things. They're all having dinner together. All the Dons. Why are we meeting in a restaurant? Well, that's what we do. We eat together. And then they sing, here's the part, my favorite things. Cold antipasto and hot minestrone. Plates of lasagna and sliced provolone. Cheese ravioli that's smothered with sauce. This is a snack for a mafia boss. So see how good the writing is? And they're still singing in the next scene, and paying dinner. Then Get Me to the Church on Time is the next one. This shows Michael running for president. Let's see. Okay, we're going to make a second movie. I hear Michael's going to retire. No. I'm going to run governor, senator, then president. He's going to raise taxes, they said. He says, use the same family techniques and other, like to use them. Then the next one is called The Fish and I. The first song is briefly to dream the impossible dream. and it shows someone, they say, hey, like shaking fish food into a fish thing. Then we see that they're closing down the beach. We even have the mayor and Brody, and that's it for that one. Then Camelot, which I just saw this play not that long ago, or musical. This one's a little bit confusing. I don't know any of the just the mayor and Brody. I don't recognize the other characters, but they're talking about there's a lobster and a whale and a clam and a snail. Then Do Re Mi. You have who's Richard Dreyfuss's character's name? Can't remember, but Brody and Richard Dreyfuss. And then there's Glub. There's different ones for doe, a deer, a female deer. Then we have the three of them on the boat together with Quint, Brody, and they're still, are they singing anymore, or they're just acting? 1001, we got to deal with this fish. And then, on the street where you'll live, and that's Brody dealing with the fish and saying, let's not swim anymore. Then there's a movie about a big tower. I don't know if this was a movie or a TV movie. That looks like Paul Newman, though. So, I don't know. It's a movie I've never seen before, so I don't really know anything about it. It's called The Tower. All the lights on the tower. And the first song is They Call the Wind Mariah. Again, there's a lot of art. I'm sure there's even like in-jokes on the details. And They Call the Wind Mariah. I don't even know like any of these musicals that these are from. Then Maria. See something San Francisco. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Crisco. Okay. LA 8 to 5. So I think it's a bunch of stars that are in this movie. But stars from the 70s that I'm not familiar with. Kind of similar. I mean, like some of the other movies I've seen before. Trying to see if there's anybody else I recognize. There's one more person I recognize, but I don't. Oh, who's that? It's a young Ernest Borgnine, I think. And then Paul Newman, and that's it. But yeah, they're saying, hey, let's get these like holiday lights on this tower. That's basically the plot of the movie. All these stars come together, climb every mountain. So those were the things. Then this is a comic, Mad Penny Pinching Hints. Let's see. It's 3 pages. Doesn't say who it's by, but it said it in the thing. But I think it's like it quotes in like the comics. The first one is buy your perishables before weekend closing time when you can bargain. And it's showing stuff saying, if necessary, use alternative means of long-distance communication. Because you used to have to, and they show like a bird, sending a letter. Because you used to have to pay when you called people in other area codes by the minute. You believe that? There's a brief time where I was seeing someone in a different city, and I was like, whatever, and living in my parents' house, and it was expensive. Have your kids make their own Christmas cards, homemade haircuts. There's a lot of, just a lot of stuff. Spray on socks with washable paint. Grow your own food, and they show fish in a fish tank. Build gifts at home or at school. There's like an invention to save. You only use half a tea bag. Try talking to people at parties about stuff. Like, hey, Doc, can you look at this rash? Instead of watching TV or movies, they show like a shadow puppet theater. give kids interest-bearing notes instead of cash. Stop by your relatives at dinner time. Stop by your relatives. Use any. It shows a mom commuting to work on a school bus. That's pretty funny. What else? I'm trying to see, but a lot of funny art. There's always jokes about Mad too, and even so, there's like a self-referential one about this thing. So it's like in TP. Read a magazine all at once. Then we have Don Martin Department. And these ones are always like showing someone that can never get anything right. It's only part one, though. He's trying to get a toaster, an electric blanket, a hairdryer, clock, radio, shaver, and a gentleman's trying to acquire those items in the wrong place. But then it's like a cliffhanger. Okay, then there's the lighter side of making extra money. This is by Dave Berg. So again, like different artists with different style too. Let's see. So different ways. Oh, let's clean out your basement, but we're going to sell everything. But then it wasn't eBay back then. I guess a garage sale or whatever. We're going to throw all this stuff out, huh? Lemonade stand, talking about, hey, we had to cut back on ingredients or something. I don't know. Then carrying stuff to cars. Let's see. Hang around a supermarket and help people carry their bundles. I guess they didn't have shopping carts back then. I'm not kidding. Maybe they didn't. Because everybody's carrying their bags out to their car. Well, I usually give you $1. But it's the mom saying that about the son carrying her bags. So the mom's kind of like a plant. Let's see what else. Some of the stuff's just not, doesn't age well. What else we got here? Let's see. They show son collects old comic books and carefully preserves them in plastic bags. This is what we're talking about. These books are collector's items. I could get $300 for this one, and another $500 for this one. But okay, well, great. Are you going to sell them, son? Sell them? No. Then they have a professional dog walker, and gas-powered snowblower. When I was a kid, we used to have to shovel the snow, but the kid has a gas-powered snowblower. Okay, there's a couple other ones. Okay, then they have Spy versus Spy, which is like two spies. They're always trying to outdo each other, very like Itchy and Scratchy style. So this one has the one spy has what do you call that thing? A jet, and the other one has an aircraft carrier, and the jet is showing that it's like better than the aircraft carrier. And then the one on the aircraft carrier spy, the spies look like birds a little bit. It says I surrender, but really it has like a mousetrap type thing for an aircraft. So then it ruins the plane. And we have a look at 50 years of college life, college campus bellwether, harbinger of democracy's future, and 90% fall asleep during lectures, 90% of mad readers fall asleep during articles. And they have like a big picture on it that's got a lot of different satire. I don't know what year, what's that college movie called? With John Belushi, Animal House. Maybe that came out after this? Oh, so it goes through the 20s to 30s and shows like people dressed in satiric ways and like somebody sitting, eating fish, like one of those flagpole sitters or whatever that would climb flagpoles. That's in the 30s. and people in old-fashioned cars. Then in the 40s, it looks like some sock hop type stuff. I thought that like a soda fountain. Then in the 50s, Eisenhower, and Nixon. And then kind of pompadours, people piling into a telephone booth. Then in the 60s, kind of protests. Peace Now, the Monroe Doctrine's baloney. Then the 70s, raccoon, a humpmobile. I don't know what that is. Oh, in the 20s. This is 70s was like a throwback to the 20s, it's saying. Okay. And Warren G. Harding versus Nixon. And that's it because it was in the 70s. Then you have Mads Traffic Commissioner of the Year. Okay, this is like a satire on New York City. And maybe the mayor. Okay, sorry, it took 40 minutes. Who said anything about driving? I walked. Traffic's a problem. Okay, what are you going to do with all these cars? No, we're going to give them tickets. So that shows them working on traffic lights, computerized traffic control systems, and talking about that. Talking about raising tickets. So this one's pretty dense. It has like a lot of comedy, I'm sure, is in here about traffics in New York City. Okay, then Mad Gallery of people it's hard to feel sorry for. Some rich people in a Mercedes, some lady on a soap opera, people like going from Paris to London to Rome. People that aren't very good drivers, people that don't, that are like ultra rich and don't have to pay taxes. Oh no, or they do. They're just like, oh, I pay like, someone that has too many dates. Okay, then you have fake shadows. So you have people acting one way, and then the shadows behind them doing something else. So you have the UN, everybody's being friendly, but their shadows are not being friendly. Then you have two people that are in a bar, had too much to drink, but they think they're charming. Then you have two hockey players, and then they kind of look like they're glaring at each other. Then you have a person calmly sitting in the subway, but it shows them, I wish I was tagging the subway. You have a teacher and students acting all polite, but acting, just on the edge of rebellion. You have a bunch of people on smoking on an elevator, and someone's shadows like, this is, unacceptable. Another one where it's just like chaos. Most of them are chaos. Then someone, a politician, but it shows them with a crown. Then someone mowing the lawn, but they wish they were in a drag racer. It looks like hippies playing Frisbee, and then a police officer wishing he was playing Frisbee with them. Then there's something about the TV show Good Times, which was a spinoff from All in the Family. This is like a new TV trend was established after All in the Family. Reality situation comedy. Get a family together, and people will laugh. So this one shows Good Time, but it says Good Time Slot. It goes through the show, but I don't know anything about the show. It did not have a chance to watch it on, what do you call that, replays? I mean, I do know, Jimmy Walker, would be a good guest on talk shows because he would always have a lot of good jokes. It's kind of like stand-up, though. Let's see. Then they have a doctor's office joke. That's a 3-panel joke of a doctor checking someone's old like rubber mallet thing. I think that was the thing in the 70s where it was like doctors were constantly trying to check people's whatever reaction time, or I don't know what they call that. Then there's a fold-in. It looks like it says a super duper bowl, and there's a blimp and a bunch of people, and that's what it looks like. And I don't know if I get the joke. It shows like someone with an empty bowl. So I don't know. That's a brief run through of a Mad magazine. So let's like give you some info of like what's a Mad magazine, right? So let's see. Still has a website, but let's look it up on Wikipedia. It's American Humor Magazine. It started in 1952. Launched as a comic book series before it was a magazine. Widely imitated and influential, affecting satirical media, cultural landscape. Its circulation reached 2 million. We're at the peak in 73, 74. So right now, the last update they had about circulation was 2017. That's paid circulation. It's like around the number of listeners Sleep With Me has, but most Sleep With Me, Sleep With Me is not paid. So let's see. Yeah, it was the last surviving title from EC Comics, and Alfred E. Newman, the mascot, is on the cover, playing a celebrity or character being lampooned. 550 regular magazine episodes from 52 to 2018. As well as specials like reprints, compilations. AT&T acquired Time Warner in 2018. Mad ended newsstand distribution. So it must have been in 2018. Maybe it was the last Mad magazine I bought. But it continued in, comic book stores and via subscription. It's reduced its content, new content in standard issues, with the regular magazine almost utilizing curated reprints with new covers. So it began as a comic book, it was Lower Manhattan, and then went to Madison Avenue, 485 Madison Avenue. Let's see, 55. There was a Comics Code Authority. Removed Mad. No, Mad Magazine, they said, was not changed to avoid the code, but as a result of this, did void the code when it became a magazine. The circulation peaked at 2.1 million in 1974. New issues appeared erratically, 4 to 9 times a year. Then it settled on an 8 times a year schedule, lasted almost 4 decades. And the issues would come out 7 to 9 weeks before the month listed on the cover. And they felt like that was the timing they needed to maintain the quality. And beginning in 94, they started producing more issues a year until it reached a monthly schedule. And then by the 500th issue in 2009, they regressed to a quarterly publication before going back to 6 issues in 2010. And it's been sold a few times. At some point, it became part of the DC Comics, company-owned DC Comics. And then National Periodicals, National Periodicals, then Warner Brother. Kinney bought Warner Brothers 7 Arts in 1969, and National Kinney Corporation, never even heard of it. That became Warner Communications, Time Warner, now Warner Media. Throughout the years, it's a unique mix of adolescent silliness and political humor. It's a political satire magazine. Ended in 2017 with issue 550. None of the staff made the move when it was relocated. And and they moved to California. That was renumbered as number 1. Then AT&T acquired Time Warner, and it was restructured. And there's a Burbank edition. So, yeah, a lot of stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Alfred E. Newman is a fictional mascot and cover boy of Mad. Distinctive look. First emerged in U.S. iconography decades prior to the magazine. Was originally in 19th century ads for dentistry. The origin of the What Me Worry, that was the origin, maybe that was it, What Me Worry motto. Then it was in an ad for a play. What's the good of anything? Nothing. And then in the 1930s, on presidential postcard with the caption, "Sure, I'm for Roosevelt." And they decided he was Alfred E. Newman in 1954. And it's been since the debut in 56, or since the debut, maybe it was 54, I don't know. It's been Alfred E. Newman's been on almost every cover except for a handful. Rarely seen in profile, but always been recognizable in front view, silhouette, and from behind. Supreme Court case about the copyright of Newman. A live-action version, an uncredited editor, appeared briefly in an 80 film, which was originally a Mad magazine movie, but then Mad pulled its support of the film, and they wanted the Mad I forgot about Mad TV, too. Genesis, what is that? That's just the different advertisements slowly becoming Alfred E. Newman. Yeah, I think that's it. Let me look up Cracked magazine, too, just so we have some CRACK, Cracked magazine. Okay, Cracked was another humor magazine, started in 58. It was most durable, launched in the wake of Mad magazine. It kind of copied Mad's layout and style. Simple-minded, wide-cheeked mascot, Sylvester P. Smith, a janitor, in a manner similar to Alfred E. Newman. But Smith sometimes spoke and was inside the magazine, interacting with parody subjects and other characters. Website adopted Crack's name after the magazine ceased publication. But they did joke that it was, a knockoff of Mad magazine. Its publication frequency was reduced in the 90s, erratic in the aughts. 2006, it came out again, but it was more of a lad mag. And usually had, TV, and it's very similar. They would try to take people that were successful would go back and forth, as well as when National Lampoon stopped publishing in the 90s, they got some people from there. At the height of its circulation, it might have been a third of Mad's, which is still huge. But then by the aughts, it was down to 25 to 35,000 per monthly issue. But that's like about, 5 times larger than Sleep With Me's paid audience. So it's pretty good. It plummeted. That's a little bit about Cracked, a little bit about Mad. We'll see how this goes and listen to it. And another meandering through a magazine from the past. Good night, everybody. All right, I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. And, if you want to sign up, you could always do that. sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. And, if you decide to support the show by the sponsors or on Apple Podcasts, you can also let me know over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Just fill out the form there. But I want to thank Kate, Zach, and Sage. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Tanya, Chris, and Mikey. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Ian, Neferun, and Jillian. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Alaric, Dylan, and Jesse. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Cheryl, Meredith, and EA. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Donna, Dean, and Erica. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Ashley and Kim. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody who supports the show directly on Patreon, supports the sponsors, or supports the show some other way. Wouldn't be able to do it without you and everybody that helps out on the show. Really appreciate it. And yeah, you could. What else? Oh, there's either this will be a message from me or a Talk You In sponsor. I think we're almost at 550 free episodes in the feed. I don't know if it's before this time last year. I guess so, where we only had 200 episodes in the free feed. And then that's been thanks to everybody who supports the show, too. So thanks so much. Thanks and good night.